3 Scottish football clubs have been named and shamed for underpaying staff. Motherwell, Greenock Morton and Falkirk were on a list of employers not paying the minimum wage. A list of 28 employers breaching pay rules in Scotland was released by the UK government as part of its campaign to force employers to pay workers properly. The companies had to refund a total of £116,697 to 92 workers. It was the 13th time such a list has been compiled, with more workers receiving payments this year than in previous years. Across the UK, a total of £1 in back pay was given to 16,000 workers. Fines totaling £1 for underpaying the national minimum wage and national living wage rate were handed out to 260 employers, with retail, hospitality and hairdressing being the most common sectors named. Reasons for the underpayments included failing to pay workers traveling between jobs, deducting money from pay for uniforms and not paying for overtime. Motherwell failed to pay £2 to 12 workers, with Greenock Morton keeping £2 from 6 members of staff. Falkirk had to pay back £495 owed to 1 worker. A spokesman for Motherwell said, "This was an administrative error on the club's part. The amount outstanding was immediately paid to employees in full." Falkirk said their case had related to a player who signed with the club in 2013, and that they had rectified the situation immediately. The club said, "Lessons were learned from this unfortunate situation, and all minimum wage guidelines have been stringently followed since." The SPFL said all of its clubs must act in accordance with the laws of the land, and that "we are currently making inquiries to each of the 3 named clubs to establish the facts." Greenock Morton clarified its position in a statement on the club website. "This is a historical case dating from 3 seasons ago in which a solitary player was due the majority of the figure mentioned as a result of being erroneously contracted. 5 other players were also underpaid by very minimal amounts due to the club missing key trigger dates for slight increases due in the terms of their contracts. However, once we were made aware of the situation, all players were promptly and fully reimbursed earlier this year." The report came from the UK government's Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy, BICE. Scotland Office Minister Lord Duncan said the government would not stand by while companies diddle workers out of their pay. The national living wage was established to ensure that everyone, everywhere, receives a decent income. It is unacceptable that some companies in Scotland still think they can get away with underpaying their staff. The 28 Scottish firms named are: 1 Motherwell Football and Athletic Club Limited, trading as Motherwell FC, failed to pay £2 to 12 workers. 2 Greenock Morton Football Club Limited, trading as Greenock Morton FC, failed to pay £2 to 6 workers. 3 Falkirk Football and Athletic Club, trading as Falkirk Athletic FC, failed to pay £1 to 1 worker. 4 Edward Mackay Contractor Limited, failed to pay £51 to 4 workers. 5 D McGillivray & Co Limited, Western Isles, failed to pay £11 to 11 workers. 6 Global Voices Limited, Stirling, failed to pay £8 to 4 workers. 7 Crook & Crook Limited, Inverness, failed to pay £5 to 2 workers. 8 Northumberland Hotel LLP, trading as the Northumberland Hotel, Edinburgh, failed to pay £4 to 2 workers. 9 Salon Syndicate Limited, trading as Shapes, Edinburgh, failed to pay £4 to 4 workers. 10 Mrs. Rena Muir, trading as TRC Hair Design, Renfrewshire, failed to pay £3 to 1 worker. 11 Mr. Demeter Arklaus, trading as Handy Andy Car Wash, Renfrewshire, failed to pay £2 to 2 workers. 12 G3RRY Limited, trading as Hughes Chemist, Glasgow, failed to pay £2 to 2 workers. 13 The Holiday and Flight Centre Limited, South Lanarkshire, failed to pay £2 to 1 worker. 14 Moorlands Travel, Kelty, Limited, Fife, failed to pay £2,110.8 to 2 workers. 15 Onondale Bed and Bath Service Limited, Dumfries and Galloway, failed to pay £1 to 3 workers. 16 Influence Conditioned Air Limited, Glasgow, failed to pay £1 to one worker. 17 Hillfoot Homes Limited, Clackmannanshire, failed to pay £1 to two workers. 18 Mrs. Therese McMonagall trading as Terry's Hair Salon, South Ayrshire, failed to pay £1 to two workers. 19 BM&AA Selection Limited trading as A&K Hair Design, Edinburgh, failed to pay £1 to one worker. 20 Philosophy Limited, Glasgow, failed to pay £1 to one worker. 21 B&E Travel Limited trading as Barhead Travel, Fife, failed to pay £1 to one worker. 22 Maze at the Hollybush Limited trading as the Hollybush Inn, East Ayrshire, failed to pay £1 to one worker. 23 Aaron Brew Limited, North Ayrshire, failed to pay £1 to two workers. 24 Mrs. Lynn McCullough trading as Lynn Capelli Salon, West Dunbartonshire, failed to pay £1 to three workers. 25 GS Associates, Scotland, Limited, Renfrewshire, failed to pay £1 to one worker. 26 The Nail and Beauty Zone Limited, Edinburgh, failed to pay £1 to four workers. 27 Southwest Enviro Limited, West Lothian, failed to pay £1 to two workers. 28 Irksa Spicy Food Limited trading as Nasheen Tandoori, Aberdeenshire, failed to pay £1 to four workers.